Hello, I am your Queen of the Night, Doc Moon, and welcome back to my creepypasta reading for my summer job, the Five Nights at Freddy's creepypasta. So, welcome to night 2. After I grabbed some dinner at McDonald's, I drove over to Freddy's. This time, there was a vehicle just leaving. I didn't know who it was, and it wasn't the same car my boss had when he drove away last night. I brushed off and got out of my car. I unlocked the door and took a glance at the robots. They seemed to be looking at me, but I was facing head-on with them, and they probably just left in the same position. I headed back to the security office and saw that once again had another message. I pressed play. Hello? 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 Well, if you're hearing this, you made it to day 2. Congratulations! There's nothing I really have to say tonight. Emphasize that use your door's lights. There are, in fact, blind spots in your camera views, and these blind spots happen to be just outside your door. So remember to check those frequently. Well, that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. I took what he said into account and checked my door lights. Nothing. I then began to check my cameras. The gang was still on stage and didn't move. I then checked that Pirates Cove place and saw the curtain was open far enough that I saw a figure in there. Some sort of dog? I wasn't sure as I switched off the cameras. I have to conserve power. I let them off for a solid minute before I checked them again. I saw that the curtain was all the way open in Pirates Cove and that the figure was standing just outside of it. I had a better view of it now. It appeared to be a fox. A fox. There we go. I then quickly checked the main stage. Bonnie was gone, but Chica and Freddy were still there. I checked each camera and saw that Bonnie was once again in the main audience area. Just like last time, I checked Pirates Cove again and saw that nothing was there. The curtain was wide open and light, and the figure wasn't there. I checked each of my cameras close to Pirate Cove until I got to West Hall. I saw the fox sprinting down the hallway. My body tensed up, and I was filled with fear. I smashed the door button quicker and harder than I did last night. I then heard banging on the door, as if someone wanted to get in. After that, I heard footsteps running away from it. As I left, just to be cautious, I checked Pirates Cove cam and said the curtains was closed. I thought that meant that it returned, and I opened the door back up. I quickly checked the door lights on both sides, and to my surprise, Bonnie was outside my left-hand door. I hit the button again, filled with fear, and waited for Bonnie to leave. The night went on very similar way. The fox ran down the hall again, and Bonnie came close to me a few more times. Fortunately, Chica and Freddy stayed on the stage, just like last night. Why don't they leave the stage like Bonnie and the fox? I wondered. I left the place when my shift was over and saw Bonnie back up on the stage. I don't want to even look at Pirates Cove since I've actually seen the bot in there move. I began thinking that it was strange the way these animatronics acted. Then I went home and went to sleep. I guess we get night 3 as well, because that was way too short for night 2. Okay, night 3. This time I went to Freddy's a bit earlier, before my shift, and after the other guard left. I didn't really want to wait until the middle of the night to arrive, which somewhat frightened me. I also got there while the owner was still there. I said hi to him, but he just gave me a low as if he were saying hey, or I really don't feel like talking. I sat in the security office playing games on my phone until the battery went out, which was conveniently at 11:57. I completely forgot to check the message machine for my nightly message. I don't know how it was possible to tune out that constant beep of the dang thing. Maybe it's because of my headphones that were barely even up. Anyway, I pressed play. Hello, hello. How you made it to night 3? Wow, you made it to night 3? Great work. Most people don't even make it this far. I mean, they moved to other things. Now I'm playing the dad. Yeah, didn't mean that. I chuckled a bit when he said that. Now, I don't really want to talk that much since Freddy and his pals became more active for the week goes on. I should have told you that before, but I forgot. Sorry. Make sure you check those cameras while I talk, just to be safe. I began to check the cameras. Nothing. Everyone was in their proper spots. Also, here's a tip I just came up with. If any of the animatronics see you and you can't close the door in time, just play dead. Like go limp. They'll probably think you're an empty costume again. Then again, if you were an empty costume, they might try to put an endoskeleton into you. Don't know how that would work. Yeah, scratch that. Just don't get caught. Alright, well, I'm done here. See you on the flip side. The message ended. I checked the cameras again. They were all out. West Hall, East Hall, Pirates Cove, every single camera was out. I was about to check on one of the cameras outside when I realized they turned back on. I checked the main stage. Chica was gone. Not Bonnie, Chica. This surprised me. Bonnie was the first one to always leave. Why not now? I began to check around. I found Chica in the audience area, staring directly at me from behind a table. The way she was facing, I also think she's a she. Wasn't towards me, but her face was. This chilled my bones. Why were they staring directly at the cameras? Do they know I'm watching them? No, AI should be able to know that. The camera went dark again and I checked the door lights. There was nothing there. Then it came back on. Bonnie was gone. Thankfully, Freddy was still there. I checked Pirates Cove. The curtain was closed. Then I found both Bonnie and Chica in the opposite halls. Chica was in the east hall and Bonnie was in the west. It filled me to the brim with fear. I was surrounded and there was nothing I could do. I checked the door lights. There was nothing on the left. I checked the right. There was Chica, staring at me through the glass window. I was startled at first, but then stared at it for a couple seconds. I saw it twitch, and I jumped for the door switch. That twitch was not something an AI could do. Well, they could twitch if they were broken, but not human-like, like Chica did. I checked the lights. Chica was still out there. I checked the right, and there was Bonnie. I was more startled by Bonnie because I swear I saw his mouth moving up and down, almost like he was eating. From outside, this caused me to immediately hit the door button. I was surrounded more than I was when they were in the halls. I could do absolutely nothing but pray. I didn't open the doors for the rest of the night. It caused me to lose all of my power right before 6, but my praying paid off. Nothing came to get me. I didn't leave that security office until the owner showed up because I was so scared. He didn't care and told me to leave because my shift was over. I went home and just watched the movies. I couldn't find the courage to fall asleep. Knowing I had nightmares, I stayed awake straight until my next shift. Night 4. I got to the place at 11:50. As soon as I entered, I ran straight to the back of the building. I didn't have the bravery to go look at the animatronics in the eye. It sounded silly, but it was true. When I entered the office, it was very messy. There were some papers on the floor, and the fan was flung across the room, and the camera screen had a small crack in it. Strange, I thought. I pressed play on the button in the message machine. Hello. Wow, day 4. Good job. The man sounded dull and not quirky, like he always is. I also heard a banging sound in the message. It was banging and it got a little creepy out. Well, hey, I might not be around to send you more messages. It's been a bad night here. I was beginning to wonder what exactly was going on. It started to get a small sense of anxiety rising up in my stomach. Hey, if you get a chance, can you check out one of those suits in the back? I might be... A sound familiar tune cut him off. It was a tune that Freddy used to play as part of his act. Could Freddy be doing something to this man? No. He finished. The message was kept going as I heard the sound of a human or some other thing scream, along with a very loud cracking sound. I was terrified, shocked with fear, and could not move. What happened to him? Did he just die? That explained the place being messy, but how did this happen? It sounded like something impossible. No pure computer programmed creation could act like this. Even if it was manufactured. I sat for an hour, not looking at the cameras or the door lights. I was terrified to do anything. What snapped me out of my daze was the sound of heavy footsteps approaching me on my right. I didn't even check the door light. I didn't even look at the cameras. I ran out of the room to the right to face whatever the thing making the footsteps was. I was confident, angry, and scared at the same time. As soon as I entered East Hall, those feelings left me except for fear. There, looking straight at me, were a pair of white eyes. It just looked at it. I just looked at it. It began moving forward and started laughing. It sounded just like Freddy's voice, so there was no doubt that what I was facing was Freddy. I ran straight back to the security office. As soon as I entered, I began hearing footsteps coming full speed at me on the other door. I closed the door where Freddy was in time. As soon as I was about to close the other door, I saw the fox. It was running straight for me, mouth open and tears all over it, revealing its innards. I pressed the door button right before it entered, its nose being less than a foot away from me. I sat and let the power drain. By 2 a.m., I was at 72%. By 3, it was at 49%. At 4, it was at 28%. And at 5:30, it was at 12. I didn't know if I could survive, and I began not to care. I was slipping away. One of my favorite childhood memories had been turned into a nightmare. I woke up to my boss shaking me. He told me it was 7, I needed to go home. There had been an accident. I asked, but he said I shouldn't worry and I should go get some rest. He appeared to not care that I was sleeping on the job, and just let me go without saying a word on the matter. As I was leaving, I smelled a very foul odor in the main stage area, and all of the bots appeared to have red marks around their eyes. I thought I was just imagining them because I do experience hallucinations from time to time, but part of me was telling me that those marks were real. When I stepped outside, there were a lot of police cars out there. I saw some policemen talking to the owner and others writing down information. I also saw that car from a couple nights ago when I arrived from my shift parked in the parking lot. It had caution tape around it, which caused me to believe it belonged to my mentor. When I got home, I did all my research on finding some info on the old security guard. After a good 2 hours of research, I came across the name, Todd Smith. I believe it could possibly be the name of the man I'm looking for, but I'm not sure. I thought about asking my boss his name tomorrow. For now, I just have to get some sleep. Wow. So, I guess Phone Guy's dead, or Todd Smith. That was it for this recording. We'll find out what happens in night 5 on my next recording. Well, keep on scaring my creatures. Bye-bye.